Joined team ban.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the joinDOTA League Season 7. We have another best of 2 series, or 2 games if you really don't like best of 2, between space creators or SPAC creators, if you follow that, although I see where the space comes in now, and Zero Latitude, who we did see play yesterday versus Mineski. Didn't do that hot. They had a couple of moments where they seemed like they were going to have decent control of the game, but then things kind of fell apart. So hopefully for Zero Latitude, hopefully we could see a better showing from them. The problem with asking that from them in this particular game is that they're up against the team that, last time I checked, is on top of the group, and I just checked yesterday. So it probably still holds that they're on top of the group. Space Creators have been doing pretty darn well, and look at their names. They have people who have been around for quite a long time. 2D and Musica especially, with the, I guess, most notable names, but everyone else I've definitely seen around from time to time. So Space Creator is definitely a difficult opponent for Zero Latitude, and this is Zero Latitude's, looking at it real quickly, yes, their, I guess, newer lineup, which they just test ran yesterday, and it's 0-2 versus Mineski, who are, you know, to be fair, no slouches themselves, but still. I mean, Mikelorus, your only caster for today. We also got Corrupt Drop Air on the stats. I'm sure he's going to say hello once we actually get off of this screen, but we have ourselves a draft right now with the Gyrocopter Lesh, Bounty Hunter being the pretty easy, notable first bands out. Surprised to see Lena still in the pool. Would be even more surprised to see Space Creators Leafer in the pool. There she is. And Space Creators actually going to grab the Undying as their first pick. Not an opening that we see very often nowadays. Still, it's a hero that you have to watch out for, but usually 3rd or 4th pick if he's picked up at all. Other times, Undying is just going to be floating through the pool, since neither team really wants to go that aggressive with that hero or aggressive with their strategies. You look at Zero Latitude's opening, Earthshaker, Queen of Pain. It's one of the more safer openings that you could actually execute. You get the Fissure, you get, of course, the follow-up with the Blink Scream, etc., onto someone like Alina. And yeah, Queen of Pain normally doesn't have the best matchup versus the Lina without any support, but something with the Shaker there, it becomes a lot better. You can actually get kills on Lina, and you could prevent her from getting kills on your Queen of Pain. If you look at Space Creators, their 4 position, their 5 position, hell, even maybe their 3 position Undying, he won't be able to apply nearly any pressure, really, to the Queen of Pain. That's one of the downsides of Undying, though. He is a beast in those brawls. Once the heroes start blinking away, man, it's a lot harder for Undying to do pretty much anything, so you need the CC follow-up to come from your allies, and that's why we see the Storm Spirit banned out. That's why we see the Lina being picked up right now by the Space Creators, trying to get this Undying to stay in the action. We have seen the past Undyings go with Spirit Breakers, you know, typically very high CC, very tanky hero, so you will be able to stick on the likes of Queen of Pain with both the Spirit Breaker and the Undying. Hopefully you get the Flesh Golem amplification of the Laguna Blade. Bam, you feel really good about yourself then when you're Lina, but otherwise, yeah, Undying typically tends to struggle with being unable to actually get into those fights and stay in those fights, since everyone in Zero Latitude has already a lot of disengage. Darkseer and Broodmother, speaking of disengage, right? 2 heroes with a lot of it. 2 heroes that make Undying's life a little bit difficult, honestly. Versus the Ion Shell, yeah, you could try to decay and soul rip your way through that. It might work for a little while, but eventually the Darkseer's Soul Ring is going to overwhelm you with Ion Shells, and Broodmother, very similar situation there, except with Spiderlings, who you could decay sometimes, but actually killing the entire wave off, yeah, good luck doing that. You're probably not going to get off the ground with that type of strategy. And there we go, Storm Spirit and the Spirit Breaker, and then Zero Latitude insta grab the Shadow Fiend. Pretty interesting way to go with their draft. Queen of Pain and Shadow Fiend, not super commonly seen on the same team. Most likely, I would say, it's going to still be that mid lane. No, actually, mid lane Shadow Fiend is actually looking pretty a little bit better right now. You know, typically the Queen of Pain has a better matchup versus any general hero, but when you have Shaker on your side, the ability to land Fissure, Raise makes the Shadow Fiend Lina matchup, which is worse than the Queen of Pain Lina matchup, just a little bit more palatable for the Shadow Fiend. So they may want to run that, but you know, bottom line, they have the flexibility to juggle those 2 heroes in the safe lane. Hell, even within the off lane if they really want to. Or run some weird dual lane scenario. Who knows? Zero Latitude can run their heroes pretty much in any assortment, and they can assume for right now that the matchup in the mid lane is going to be the Lina, in which case Shadow Fiend Shaker should be strong enough. We got a Rubik pick now for the Space Creators, another CC effect to combo up with both the Lina, you know, lift up into an LSA, and that Undying, keeping the soft enemies especially, within range of his kit. But more importantly, perhaps Rubik is up against Shaker. If you could steal a Fissure, you're feeling pretty good about yourself as a Rubik player. One of the best, if not the best, non-ultimate skills to steal as Rubik. Feels really good, man, once you're able to pick up a fissure. But yeah, Rubik for the space creators, they are looking like they're going to play this a little bit more aggressively with the Undying, with the Lina. I wouldn't be surprised to see them picking up a pseudo-pushing hero. Maybe Dragonite isn't really the best in this situation, although Rubik, Lina, definitely a potent roaming duo. Just lift them up into an LSA, start beating down with 2, maybe even 3 ranged heroes. And heroes like Shadow Fiend, Earthshaker, man, won't know what hit him. So grabbing someone like a DK, trying to amplify this aggression with actual tower pushing. Alternatively, they could go for a Luna for a very similar effect. If it's your Latitude, it's going to be a Dazzle. I like this pick. It's, perhaps not the best versus Rubik and versus the Undying, who are typically a little bit more of slow damage dealers. Especially that Undying, you'll wear you down over time, and that's where the Grave is not the best. You have to Grave and then protect your allies from zombies, and that's just a whole big issue. But versus the Lina, for sure, if she gets a Yule Scepter, your goal as Dazzle is pretty clear. Grave the person who's spinning in the air, and most of the time you should be able to do that. And if you grave someone like a Queen of Pain, if you grave someone like an Earthshaker, those few precious seconds where they survive can mean a Sonic Wave or a Blink Out for Queen of Pain, either of which is going to impact the Space Creators draft pretty heavily, or an Echo Slam, and that is just not something that Space Creators want to deal with when they're trying to go for those snipes. If you're going to go for Yule Scepter kill, the worst thing that could happen is you getting like 2-man Echo Slammed. Feels bad. Feels real bad. But Space Creators, this Dazzle isn't going to apply a ton of pressure. Honestly, nor is the Shaker. Towards the mid lane, he'll help out occasionally with those fissures. But outside of that, not really going to be a super aggressive hero. And Space Creators do still have the initiative when it comes to them being aggressive. It won't be the most aggressive, seeing as though they have a Rubik. So, if you want to go truly aggressive, you go for like a Vengeful Spirit or like a Shadow Shaman or something like that. Try to take those towers down. But still, it's not too late for them to kick up the heat and really apply the pressure to Zero Latitude, who are pretty well positioned right now in the mid game. Both Shadow Fiend and Queen of Pain, huge damage dealers with, of course, their ultimates, but all just mass magic damage. Their right clicks aren't anything to scoff at either. And we have 40 seconds till Space Creators make their next pick. I'm assuming Undying is going to not be played as support. I really don't like it when teams decide to go for that. I think 4-position off-lane Undying, perhaps with a little bit of help in lane, running an offensive dual lane style, is probably the best way to run the hero. But it looks like they're not going to really show their hand just yet. Grab a Phantom Lancer. So you'll actually have an okay amount of AoE, so this Phantom Lancer is already significantly countered on the Zero Latitude side as far as that is concerned. The problem is all that AoE doesn't really come with that much crowd control. Of course, the Shaker has his. The Queen of Pain Shadow Fiend, not so much. So as far as killing off Phantom Lancer's illusions in the fights, yeah, Zero Latitude, they're pretty much covered. As far as actually jumping the Phantom Lancer, applying pressure early and killing him off, yeah, Fissure's probably not going to cut it all the time. You may be able to Fissure, blink in, burst them down with the Queen of Pain, but that's going to happen not all the time. You have to work through the Rubik. If you're going to try to do that, you also have to run the risk of just losing your Sonic Wave to a dodge from the Doppelganger. And that feels real bad if you're Queen of Pain. So Space Creators is going to grab this Phantom Lancer as their late game insurance, and yeah, Tusk, he was not picked. Tusk is one of those heroes that you always assume is going to be picked or banned, and then when he's not, you assume that he already was, so you don't realize that he's still in the pool. But yeah, he's going to be banned out this time. Space Creators actually could have gotten a lot of action done with him and the Undying. That combo is just sickening. Snowball in with the Undying, drop a Tombstone and the shards, and you actually have nowhere to run. If you're a slow hero like Dazzle or Shaker, you could throw a Fissure, but that'll only delay the inevitable. Got a Sand King ban out, actually. Space Creators really trying to get that initiation off the board. Clockwork's still in the pool and may be the hero pick here for Zero Latitude. It is not really the strongest crowd control effect. I mean, Hookshot has a lot of range. Yeah, I mean, it's a very strong skill, but as far as just being a stun, you really want something else if you're going to try to deal with the Phantom Lancer. They need something that just point-click, disable, that lasts for a really long time. The problem is, in the off-lane, there aren't really many heroes that do that super reliably. Beastmaster actually seems kind of reasonable here. Problem being, Beastmaster just has such a bad matchup if it's going to be a support Lina, Rubik, and even in lane, Phantom Lancer does really well there. Legion Commander is the pick for Zero Latitude, kind of similar to the Beastmaster in that she does have she has the end goal of jumping in, locking down one hero, with the intent to kill a lot faster since you really want to get that dual damage. I don't mind this pick too much. Zero Latitude have the Dazzle as well, so Legion Commander is going to be loss proof when she actually casts that duel. The problem is here with Legion Commander is that she will have to join up with the Shadow Fiend and or the Queen of Pain if she actually wants to get these dual victories or dual kills. Let's start with dual kills before we get to dual victories. The amount of burst damage that Zero Latitude have to put into a duel is really not that high. Their supports will not be able to do that much. Shaker is kind of a low damage support. Dazzle's a very low damage support. And if you duel with a Shadow Wave, it's like, whoop-de-doo, you did it. You did additional, how much is it, like 80 damage at level 1? Yeah, whatever, no one cares. It's going to be like level 2 or 3 by then, but still. Legion Commander won't have any Mystic Flare behind her. Like, I think that's the real big point. If you do get the duel off, if it's a duel that you're stretching for in range, you won't really have the follow-up to get the kill. So it's pretty much just going to be a stun. And for Space Creators, they grab a Witch Doctor as their last pick. Pretty reasonable as their last. Going to put the Undying into that off-lane role almost for sure. Yes, played by 2D, I would say yes for sure now. And Witch Doctor is, at worst, a very basic point-click stun. Also very anti-Legion Commander. Throw the Cask, drop the Maledict, drop the Death Ward. And then Legion Commander is really going to be on that clock to win the duel. You actually will maybe be able to drop her fast enough, even through a grave. I mean, you know, that's be probably not, but you should be able to drop her afterwards pretty reliably, unless, you know, someone like Rubik or Lina gets caught in that duel. But Witch Doctor just as a stun, as another effect to deal with the Queen of Pain. Now Space Creators have quite a few. The Witch Doctor, Rubik with the Lina, and these are skills that you can chain stun together pretty easily. So that's going to be the goal of the Witch Doctor this time. Also, you know, getting on top of the Shadow Fiend, trying to eliminate the Dazzle problem also with that Witch Doctor. Something that they will keep their eyes out for. Let's actually do this real fast. And boom, we're good to go, guys. Okay, so we are in game 1 between Zero Latitude and Space Creators. If anyone can tell me why Space Creators shortens to SCT, that'll be great, because it doesn't really make that much sense to me, but who knows. I'm sure there's some story behind that. On the Zero Latitude side, we got Avil, who's going to be playing the Queen of Pain. Ben Klung is on the Shaker. You got the Shadow Fiend, played by Vlaiku, and that leaves Kylie on the Dazzle, and he was going to go towards the top lane as a Legion Commander with a sick helmet. Nice gear, bro. On the Space Creators side, we got Death playing the Rubik. 2D is on the Undying. Velo is on the Lina with Numot. Yes, the Dragon on the Witch Doctor. And Musica's going to be playing Phantom Lancer. Once again, guys, I'm Mikelorus. Going to be joined by Corrupt Drop Bear on the stats. He's going to be providing all these boxes of, you know, gems of information that otherwise I would have no idea about. And we already have an aggressive rotation here from Space Creators, going to see the Queen of Pain. Now, ordinarily, this doesn't really mean too much if you see anyone else, but seeing no one here is going to give Space Creators a pretty good idea of this lane matchup. Still, it was kind of a toss-up, Shadow Fiend versus Queen of Pain, although Shadow Fiend Shaker, as I said before, is looking a lot more appealing than Queen of Pain Shaker over in the mid lane. And knowing that Avil is on the safe lane is probably not going to mess up their, or switch up their lanes too much from Space Creators. But knowing your lane opponent versus not knowing your lane opponent, you can maybe get a swap in, or lane switch in if you really wanted to at this stage. Looks like they're okay with the lanes they have right now. They're going to send Music all the way up to the top lane. I don't think anyone should be too surprised about that. And the matchup is most likely just going to be just Legion Commander Dazzle, which is decent. The more potent Legion Commander lane is actually Legion Commander Io. That gets really scary because you get the movement speed from Tether, but, you know, this Legion Commander is just looking to get farm, apply some pressure to the PL, won't really be able to apply too much, even with the Rubik here, honestly. Like, Legion Commander can just run at the Rubik, and Rubik is, well, first of all, a lot slower, 30 movement speed behind, of course, no brown boots picked up just yet, will be at the mercy of both the Dazzle's right clicks and the Legion Commander's pressure. Over towards the mid lane. It's going to be a Lina versus Shadow Fiend matchup, which, as I said before, is pretty good for this Lina. The problem really comes when Shaker gets involved. The problem for Shaker is that he's not going to be able to get involved since he's looking for True Sight. Oh, there it is. He's going to find the Sentry Ward. So, Ben Klung with a small victory. He may even be able to clear this out. Yeah, he will be able to clear this out by the time the minute passes. So he will get a camp. No stacks just yet, but hey, it's going to be a start of the jungle for this Earthshaker, and therefore a start of the jungle for Vlaiku, who you would expect to fall a little bit far behind Velo if he doesn't have those stacks to actually back him up with. Meantime, bottom lane, Avil taking a beating right now. 302 HP, Queen of Pain. Feels bad, man. He only has 8 strength. I only had 8 strength. That was a blink out to get to the low ground, but Numot doing his job, poking and prodding up to the top. He's getting a little bit of trouble, although Hiva gonna get lifted up out of his dive. He's still gonna go for it. No. Not going to do so. The movement speed from overwhelming odds is going to time out, and Musica is going to back off and be just fine. But yeah, this is the problem up here on this top lane. Legion Commander with the overwhelming odds is going to be pretty decent harassment, and she'll be pretty much fearless in going for these dives. if you are going to get close to the creep wave as Musica, you're going to be taking chip damage from the Dazzle. You also are going to be taking a couple hits from that Legion Commander, and that adds up. Even though he does have that Ring of Protection, no Stout Shield, and if he gets into a man fight, not going to be the worst just yet since there's no Moment of Courage, but soon that could also kick into gear and make things very difficult for that Phantom Lancer moving forward. It seems like Rubik just wants to get this rune, so, you know, when Musica is all alone like this, though he's not vulnerable to dying just yet, he's vulnerable to a lot of harassment, and who knows, he may slip up and actually just go ahead and give up that kill. But across the board, Dire last hitting a little bit better. They're keeping this Queen of Pain really hard off of this lane. Avil struggling up against this harassment. It is difficult to get this kill, especially with no Witch Doctor. I would say it's damn near impossible now, but 2D's harassment with the decay shouldn't be enough to get the kill on the Queen of Pain. It will be enough to make her very scared. She does have the magic wand already up, so every decay is not going to be hurting her as much as it ordinarily would. But still, 2D is going to keep those decays flowing, bring the Queen of Pain to a very low amount of total HP. And then, who knows, maybe just a couple punches and a Soul Rip will be enough to get the kill. If you underestimate the power of decay, you will get punished, guys. That's a promise every single time. And the Queen of Pain really has to be careful right now, because she's only at 250 HP. Yeah, you should probably be careful of Avil. She's going to get some strength back, but it's not going to be that great. Up towards top, Hiva going to lift it back. He does have a lot of movement speed from the overwhelming odds, plus the Grave. They need a right click to land from very far away. At the very least to cancel that salve. Not going to happen over towards the mid lane instead. It's Vaiku taking a lot of damage from Velo. But it looks like that one is also not going to happen. Shaker being right around the corner. He doesn't have mana for a fissure just yet, but he will have it soon. Looks like the Shadow Fiend, this is Bottle, it better be, yeah, Bottle and Salve even. So he's going to get back up to full, going to stick in this lane, but it's the Space Creators to apply a little bit, dare I say, more space to the Zero Latitude side. Not going to result into any kills just yet, but bottom lane actually doing very well for 2D, since Avil is still surfing at that 250 mark. And now they're going to catch another cask onto Hiva. This time with Maledict, he's going to get lifted up, brought back, more right clicks are there. He has a lot of healing here from this skill, but I don't know if Hiva actually has enough, especially with the Lance. That'll slay her as it strikes her in the back. Hiva down. Press the attack, not quite enough there. Does not get rid of Maledict. In fact, I don't think there are any things that get rid of Maledict. So that kind of sucks. You can't do anything about that. And Grave, level 1, has a really long cooldown of a minute. And Undying, okay, also gets the kill on Queen of Pain. That probably shouldn't have happened, but hey, Queen of Pain probably only had 250 HP, so he Soul Rip her, punch her once, and it's easy going from there. This top lane working a lot better than I would really expect from the Space Creators, as this Legion Commander probably feeling a little bit too comfortable in this top lane, knowing the Dazzle's behind her, knowing she has a heal of her own with Press the Attack. And you should be playing this pretty aggressively as this duo, but maybe not this aggressively. Over towards the mid lane, Velo going to get walled off. He has no mana. What? How do you... What? Come on, Dota. That is just not supposed to be a thing. Velo somehow slips by there, and she will end up surviving. It didn't look like the Shadow Fiend was actually looking for a fight. It wasn't too healthy to begin with, and yeah, Velo doesn't really have a ton of mana at that point. He would have had enough for an LSA, and if that lands, a couple more right clicks, you get the kill on the Shadow Fiend. Bad times, an unnecessary trade the Shadow Fiend really doesn't want to get involved with. But still, come on, Fissure. Behave properly. Towards top lane, Hiva gonna get jumped yet again. Maledict can start ticking. They already used the lance, they have another one in 1 second. This time there is a Grave, so getting this kill probably not gonna happen, but still Legion Commander is gonna drop very low. She has quite a few tangos and the magic stick going for her, but there's round 2 right around the corner. Death is gonna wrap around. He sees Kylie. If they can get this Dazzle out of range, burst down Hiva. Well, they're chain setting her pretty well with the cast, lift her up, and there's no Grave in time. Level 1 Grave has a really low cast range, and Witch Doctor is able to draw that kill, and Legion Commander before the Dazzle's able to jump in and help. That's 3 kills now for the Space Creators. It's going to be Zero Latitude looking to even it up, perhaps on this bottom lane, making a play with the Queen of Pain Shaker. The problem is, if you're going to get this kill on 2D, you have to Fissure, then you have to blink in. If you don't, then the Undying has time to set up all of his stuff, and then you probably won't get the kill. Yet, even if you do blink in, you will be blinking into an Undying, and you'll have no way to blink out. They probably do know that Velo is here. In fact, they definitely know there's an Observer Ward right underneath that Lina. But, yeah, Velo is going to be rotating out. Looks like, he's going to wrap around, actually. This is a sneaky move. LSA out of the woods might just be enough to kill off Avil. Hell, if 2D can do it by himself, he could definitely do it with the help of the Lina. Up towards top, though, they're going to go in for Hiva one more time. Lift her up. There's this time a Grave from Kylie. He'll get it off this time, but Hiva is at 1 HP, literally. One more hit once this Grave wears off, and that's going to be a kill. Though with the magic stick, he'll survive. Fissure coming in to help out as well. And it looks like this time Space Creators will not get their kill. But still, this Legion Commander is having a really rough time. He does have the press the attack, so getting the heals off, staying in this lane, you know, he could do it, but what are you actually staying in the lane for? Minor amounts of experience and the threat of death. Not exactly super attractive. I guess the bright side here for the Zero Latitude side is that the Lina rotation down towards bottom lane didn't actually do that much. Lina's going to now wander towards mid. The combo is pretty high damage, but it's not quite enough damage to kill off the Shadow Fiend. She's, well, now very obviously spotted, so not going to happen there. But, yeah, unsuccessful rotation there from Velo, and, well, it's going to be Vaiku, rather, to continue sitting on the top of the last hit chart. He is outpacing this Lina, very slightly granted, but, you know, is going to be stacking up eventually, as the jungle is not highly stacked. It's only triple camp right there. He's going to land double raise into Velo. Oh, if the Shaker was just a little bit closer, that might have been a kill, but the regen rune, Lina's going to be A-okay to stick in this lane, and she's going to want to stick in this lane because Witch Doctor's coming around from behind. Going to place an Observe Ward, see Ben Klung. I thought Numot was going to make that rotation. It is, I guess, kind of bold going into a Shaker and Shadow Fiend like that. You hit with the Fissure, 2 raises, and you're dead. And there's not much you could do about it. So, yeah, Witch Doctor back up to the top lane. Looks like his primary objective is to get kills, get pressure onto Hiva, and also prevent this from happening. Hiva's going to charge forward, doesn't have a duel, will force out a cask. It's going to get buffed out, though, from the press the attack, taking pretty much no damage from that one. And now this is where the dangerous lane kicks into play, when Hiva actually is getting closer to his duel. Since, yeah, you can throw the press the attack, or overwhelming odds, rather, all you want, but if you're not actually able to capitalize with another form of CC from the duel, you're probably not going to be getting those kills. Rubik is still pretty slow, as is the Witch Doctor, especially when you have upgraded boots in Legion Commander. Not quite there yet, but also the movement speed from her Q. Yeah, you could charge them down, you could kill them off pretty easily. Yeah, Queen of Pain still having a great time on this bottom lane. 14-3. You know, I would expect the Undying to have a pretty good time in this lane. I wouldn't expect him to have this great a time. He has 50 freaking CS over the Queen of Pain's 14. Avil just really struggling to get close enough, and he knows that if the Undying gets close, gets a couple punches in, he may just go down, blink or not. So 2D, playing this pretty aggressively, is going to be heading on towards his mechanism first, over towards mid. Looks like we had a drive-by as Velo, with the haste rune, was able to get a little bit of damage on her, a little bit of harassment, force out a little bit of mana and a TP. Not too bad for a day's work there. Man, this bottom lane is so delicate right now, and by delicate, I mean, like, yeah, 20-something strength delicate. Not good times for the Queen of Pain. I guess the bright side is, when you have this amount of max HP, your magic wand and your bottle give you a full restore. So yeah, you get extra value, if you could even call it that, because she's at 334 HP. Luckily for her, 2D is not with a lot of mana, but Decay Soul Rip, is that enough to kill her off? There's going to be a Tombstone drop. She has to get the hell out of there. Man, this is such a bad lane for the Queen of Pain. Okay, well, note to self, don't mess with 2D's Undying. Gonna be rough times for any hero, let alone Queen of Pain, who should have been able to handle this. Now has a little bit more, is gonna bottle up, has a Sonic Wave, and 2 heroes rotating in, so 2D may fall victim to his overconfidence right now. He has Flesh Golem, still the Tombstone is up. He's gonna hit with the Shadow Strike, instant TP out, gonna get cancelled by a Fissure, that will also wall off. He's gonna have the Flesh Golem, just man-fight Avil, who's gonna manage to stick up to back to full HP, now into Ben Klung, but the Undying's dropping low, he'll die to the tower. Good Fissure there from Ben Klung, getting grabbed from the Soul Ring and gonna give Avil a lot of extra space down this bottom lane. Up towards top, however, cast gonna be thrown, not gonna do that much. Seeing a little bit of an awkward move here, a little bit of a non-traditional move here from the Space Creators. They're gonna put Musica in the jungle. He's picked up a Vlad's. So, you know, if you're gonna do this, you wanna do it with this build. Oh, Hiva lifted up and blown up on that top lane. Laguna Blade Lina coming in from nowhere, and poor Legion Commander didn't have her Dazzle as backup. With this rotation of the Lina, should be able to take this tower down, or at least bring it down very low. Back to this Phantom Lancer, though, we don't really see Phantom Lancers first pick up Vlad super often. As far as items on PL, it works pretty darn well. Your auras or anything like that don't affect your illusions, so it's pretty much just personal Vlads, and I guess teammates Vlads as well. But you could just sit back and farm the jungle pretty much forever. And sometimes I like this move, other times when you're just buying space for Rubik, it's kind of underwhelming. Get lift up onto Hiva. They have an LSA there as well. She's charging forward. Gonna get Maledicted. Still looking for this duel onto death. Sonic Wave gonna cut through 3. Beautiful Sonic Wave there from Avil. Another LSA though from Velo, helping them to disengage. Numot gonna hit with the Shadow Strike and the Fissure. The heal will not hold up here. Here comes 2D. Soul Rip not gonna be in time as Hiva's gonna draw his first duel victory. 2D though gonna chase forward, looking to make this a 2-for-1 rather. There's one. Avil gonna blink north into the trees. They have the wrong ping right now. They don't see Avil. And it looks like the pressure is going to be going towards 2D right now as Vaiku is going to make his appearance. Long-range Ray's gonna snipe the Undying there, and Space Creators to lose 3 heroes in exchange for only 1. That overwhelming odds did so much freaking damage. Oh my god, that was disgusting. 3 heroes at least, handful of creeps, and for Space Creators, having no Lina, yeah, not great times. Having no Phantom Lancer rather, unable to actually fight that on par with Zero Latitude. This is really where their mid-game draft is going to start to kick into gear once they actually get their ultimates. The Sonic Wave was beautiful. First of all, you get a first duel victory on the Legion Commander, and now you have a mech on the Shadow Fiend. Right now, Zero Latitude's heroes, despite how the CS went down in the early game stages, are just overall stronger than that of the Space Creators. Like, Musica needs a lot more time, especially after having gone for this Vlad's. He'll need his Diffusal Blade, he'll need his upgraded boots, and even then he won't feel truly comfortable going into these fights simply because there's so much random AoE flying around. He'll need a lot of extra farm, Manta style at least, if he's actually going to be convincingly joining those fights compared to the Shadow Fiend Queen of Pain, who can go right now. They're going to get Fissure onto death. Not the best Fissure, unfortunately, so he was not going to be able to chase forward for that one. The Rubik will slip away. But the Space Creators need to, you know, as their name would suggest, just create as much space as they can for this Phantom Lancer, delay, and try to minimize their tower losses. It is going to be really difficult, though. Mid lane tier 1 has gone down already, and with the mechanism up on Zero Latitude, they're going to put a whole bunch of heroes up towards top lane and look for a couple more towers. The more towers they get, the closer the Earth Taker and Legion Commander get to their Blink Daggers, then the pressure they can apply steps up even more. Judy's got to watch out right now. Fissure will be held for right now, will be eventually thrown. Again, not going to connect quite properly. Kiva's going to press the attack, gets hit with the Maledict now, really has to be careful. Death Ward is going to be channeled. He even needs to get the duel off. It will get off in time, but that's going to give Numot extra damage. I mean, I don't think Witchhawk's going to care about that one, but Vlaiku's definitely going to be concerned about this. Lift it up, back in, and they get the Echo Slam off, as well as the Requiem. Graves going to keep Vlaiku up for a little while longer. Sonic Wave through onto Death will kill him off. No, actually, that was a stolen Requiem from the Rubik, and the Shadow Fiend will also die. Avil's going to jump in, snipe the Witch Doctor in the back. But Velo and Tootie still chasing after Benklung, who's going to try to hide TP into the trees. However, LSA is going to spot him. Doesn't have a Laguna Blade, doesn't need it. Velo's going to draw that kill. In the meantime, the rest of the Dire looking for Avil. And Musica's gonna find him, needs a lance to land, also needs to be careful about the Scream of Pain. Looks like Avil will be just fine, but that was not the dive that Zero Latitude really wanted. That Legion Commander got in way too far, partially because of that miss wall on the Fissure was not on the right side. If the Undying was on the south side of that Fissure, then you get the duel in, or you probably get that kill. Maybe Undying dies there. But yeah, the Legion Commander really wanted in there, and probably shouldn't have wanted in that much. Plus 10 damage on Numot, probably not going to be the end of the world here for Zero Latitude, but still, it's a dual loss, or potential damage that the Legion Commander could have had that she won't have. Death is actually going to find Avil. Blink stolen by the Rubik. I didn't realize before that it was Requiem. I just took a quick glance at it and figured that it was the Rays, but looks like my eyes were playing tricks on me. Death getting a pretty good Requiem off on that Shadow Fiend. If you could somehow actually steal Requiem, pretty difficult as a Rubik, but it is a really good skill to steal. It does a ton of damage, and you get the Souls effect as well. Musica, as well as Velo, gonna jump in. LSA completely off the mark, trying to go for Kylie, but now it's gonna be Vlaiku just turning around and man-fighting up against Velo. With the Dazzle right behind him, they have Grave if needed. That was pretty ambitious there from Lina to go for both kills instead of just one, but in the meantime, mid lane, tower will be dropped. Someone will take it down. Maybe they get the deny in. Oh, no, it's not gonna happen. And then we have no follow-up. 2D gonna try TP out. Oh, Shadow Strike gonna follow him up towards the top lane. Actually, Musica's gonna get into another fight. Has a doppelganger. Has 2D here as well. But with not enough damage here, not enough CC, Vlaiku doesn't really have to worry about that much. They're actually gonna go in again, go for the mid lane kill on the Queen of Pain. Rubik stole Scream, and he's gonna end up drawing a solo kill on the Queen of Pain. My god, that should not be happening. Until you get like a Blink Dagger on Rubik, but wow. That was a lot of extra damage the Queen of Pain just was not expecting, I suppose. Death playing this Rubik game pretty well, and is not too far away from Blink Dagger of his own once he gets that. Initiating with this Lina is going to be an absolute cakewalk, and looks like they're going to start off right now by rotating into the enemy jungle. Unfortunately, it's spotted by an Observer Ward, so it's probably not going to find anyone, but still, it's the thought that counts. Slow down the Legion Commander, perhaps get a pick off on her, a 6th pick off at that. Hiva has not had a good time in that top lane, yet he still has one duel victory, and he still has potential to get more once he grabs his Blink. Legion Commander being underfarmed is bad, but it's definitely not the end of the world. You can recover as this hero. What are you doing, Centaur? Stop doing that. Silly Centaur. But 16 for 10, and Space Creators have a decent lead at this stage. 5,000, 4,000 for 16 minutes is actually pretty sizable. And Musica is actually feeling comfortable enough to go for Travels. That's still a good item on the Phantom Lancer. It's actually a lot more standard than the Vlad's. The weird thing is when you see them both in the hero, that means you're delaying his effectiveness even longer. So it seems like Space Creators are fine with how things are going. They're just going to say, okay, Musica, your goal is the turbo late game. And it seems like he's going to deliver with this build. I don't know if you get any more late game as Phantom Lancer, as far as your opening items are concerned. Top lane tower will be destroyed really, really quickly, and well, they could actually Zero Latitude teleport back to defend this bottom lane. The problem is that 2D is right in position to make some sort of jump. They see the Shadow Fiend. No, that's actually Teal coming in. LSA be thrown, but the TP was cancelled. So you spend a TP to, perhaps hiccup this push from the Space Creators. They're going to catch Ben Klung, however. Laguna Blade, that's killing the Shaker. Very easy kill at that, and Musica's going to get his hands a little bit bloody. Up towards the top lane tower, we push slightly, but the Witch Doctor there, they should be able to hold it. Numot going to get a lot of experience here. Maybe going to grab that level 8, that level 9, level 10. Another TP going to get canceled, actually. This time by the Dazzle. So many TPs getting canceled right now. Just gold flowing out of the pocket of Zero Latitude. Trying to fight this, but with the Tombstone down, you don't want to touch this at all. Now Velo's actually going to catch Legion Commander with an LSA. Dragon Slave is there. No Laguna Blade. Lance, though, plus decay. He was in a lot of trouble. Will go down to the Rubik. Careless plays from Legion Commander right there. Just got way too close to Alina. And you never want to get close to Alina, guys. Let's be honest. It's bad times whenever you get hit with that LSA combo. And there is proper follow-up. Rotation now from the Dire as they're going to look for Vlaiku. Unfortunately, get there just out of time. The camp was just cleared. They still have a Veal as a potential target. He's super weak right now, but they don't know about it. It's a walk-in tier 2 for tier 1 trade. Great trade for the Space Creators down this bottom lane. And we'll see what they want to do afterwards. Force Staff being built up on Rubik, still making these plays with Musica, something that the Space Creators don't necessarily have to do. They can sit back, do nothing, and just be okay with that. Alternatively, like, they could look to really pressure with this Lina's power level right now. She's only 1,000 gold away from her completed Aghanim Scepter with a level 2 Laguna Blade. Only 18 minutes in, man, that will hurt. It's like 650, 675 pure damage. Yeah, that's like half, 3/4 of most of these heroes' health pools. Going for Undying. That's an interesting one. You need the Phantom Lancer for that. It looks like they will call it quits. Velo getting hit with a Fissure. No big deal. Yeah, you need the Phantom Lancer there for the heal. Numot does have level 2 in the heal, which is nice. Voodoo Restoration, I suppose, but Phantom Lancer offers the damage. Though you don't get illusion damage out of it, he's still probably going to be better off in the Roche Pit than where he is right now. Green Pain coming in, blink forward, looking for Musica. Musica is very far away, though. Now going to travel into the Roche Pit. So Zero Latitude, will they know that this one's coming? They don't have any vision of it. And it seems like they might just be caught unawares. Yeah, they're doing a pretty sizable chunk of damage right now. Now with the Vlad's coming in, going to be extra sustain. They pop the Voodoo Restoration, more sustain still. And Roshan is definitely going to fall right now. The question is, who do they actually give the Aegis to? I don't think really they want to have Musica too involved in these fights. Giving the Aegis to Velo seems like a more reasonable decision. Or a reasonable decision. I don't know if it's more reasonable. Looks like they're going to instead just put on Phantom Lancer. It's an insurance policy right now for Musica, and he's just going to continue farming, continue split pushing actually. Travels and Yasha, he's moving real quick at 429 movement speed. That means he can push that much faster and farm in between those pushes. Very anti-mage-esque, except with no blink. Smoke Up is actually going to catch Hiva, lift up into the air. He's going to drop into an LSA. Tombstone is down as well, and that's going to be the Death Legion Commander. Avil's going to try to poke down that Tombstone. Bad idea is Kylie. Going to try TP out, gets lifted up, and he will die as well. That's a 2-kill here for Space Creators. And just like that, they're buying... Well, actually, no Space for Music had traveled into this one. Kind of weird to see. I thought he would stay on that bottom lane, push a little bit more, push a little bit harder. But still, it's going to be Lina to draw a couple of those kills and kill assists. And that's going to be an Aghanim Scepter completed for her. That is a hell of a lot of pure damage, ladies and gentlemen, and Zero Latitude already getting nuked down pretty quickly from this Lina. Add a little bit of extra damage, 25% more in fact, no magic resistance supplied. And you got yourselves a real messy scenario. With the Aegis in tow, do the Space Creators want to push or do they want to create more space? Because again, Musica is a very long way until he's truly at a Cancer Lancer state. He can fight right now, but you would really want to wait for Diffusal Blade or Manta Style before you make a really aggressive play. I guess they have Guardian Greaves, they have Mech. I mean, they have all the items on all their other heroes. It's just this Phantom Lancer. Like, involving him, that's where things might get a little bit sketchier for the Dire side. Gonna go for, seems like top lane and mid lane at the same time. It's gonna be really hard to keep track of. Velo, He's going to rotate actually up towards top. But actually got to lift up onto a veal. Already very low. Got lanced. And gets killed off. Well, she was forced to Yule Scepter herself. But I guess a random Force Staff Telekinesis must have landed there. My bad for missing that, guys. The tower's going to get chipped down real quick. And they can slide over towards the mid lane, do the exact same thing straight after. It's going to be 2 towers down at least here from Zero Latitude. They're shoving bottom lane as much as they can, take a tier 1 there, but you can't really afford to race against this Vlad's matchup. Jump in from Death, gets a lift up onto Hiva, lances there with the LSA, Laguna Blade again, Legion Commander is going to fall for the 8th time this game. This is not Legion Commander's game right now. Oh, just couldn't get anything done out on top lane. That dual lane perhaps wasn't being played aggressively enough, perhaps was being played too aggressively. Who knows, but it's ultimately going to result into her not having a great score, and, well, Vela's going to hit with the Fissure. They get the Yule Scepter off onto Kylie. Missed LSA there as Vika's going to pop the BKB and Requiem. Not do a ton of damage, though. 2D stuck in the middle of everything with Solar to keep himself alive. Guardian Greaves there as well. Dragon Slave overthrew everyone. Bankling throws his ultimate, but it's not going to do too much. Musica's right in the middle of everything, still full HP, and they're going to drop one by one. Kylie, the last survivor, and he's also going to fall. Space Creators lose absolutely no one. Undying, the tank. That is his job. So many decay stacks. Guardian Greaves, Soul Rip, which I'm pretty sure that was like a maxed out Soul Rip. Yeah, it's difficult to kill this this Undying off. Even with the Sonic Wave, even with the Requiem. Echo Slam didn't really land on any heroes, and now he was going to get picked off yet again. That is like, what, 8, 9 kills consecutively in a row from Space Creators without losing a single thing. And that is going to be GG. Yeah, clean push in from Space Creators, and they get a decisive victory over the Zero Latitude side. Mid lane is going well for them. Shadow Fiend had a great time. 45 HP. Yeah, I knew it was low, Drop Bear. I knew it was low. I didn't realize it was that low. My god. Just can't kill that guy. I guess if you have a name like Undying, you have to survive at that amount of HP, right? But yeah, the mid lane went decently for Zero Latitude side. Bottom lane was a disaster. Queen of Pain having a lot of difficulty versus that solo lane Undying. I'll go, I guess, kind of dual lane from the Witch Doctor. And top lane was also a disaster. Zero Latitude just had to tend to their lanes. You would think with Queen of Pain, Shadow Fiend, Dazzle, they would be able to hold down the fort. But, yeah, just not going to happen this time. Guys, I'm Mikelorus. I'm joined by Corrupt Drop Bear on the stats. And Space Creators will win Game 1. We'll see who wins Game 2 in this 2-game set. We'll be right back for that. Don't go anywhere.